This is the Bat Flip Podcast. Now here's your host, Damien, David, and Matt. Welcome in everyone to another episode of the Bat Flip Podcast. Damien, David, and Matt here with you today. We got a contract extension news. We're going to talk about the close playoff races, obviously, as we are here in the month of September. We have a gigantic injury dump news. So if you like injury news, this is the podcast for you because there's going to be a lot of it. And then we'll obviously get with the player of the day votes. We have 2 weeks to get through of that since we were all dum-dums and didn't plan to time up the show last week the right way with the Labor Day holiday. But before we get on to that, Jesus, what was that? What was that? I have no idea. We need to stop with all of this. David, how you doing?
Dude, I'm doing awesome. I had a really great weekend. Got to meet some folks that I've been doing iRacing stuff with for years now, and it's kind of ironic because that's a lot of how I met you guys was through iRacing, and I've made friends that extended into real life in that regard, and I was able to do that once again this last weekend, and even got to announce a race in real life at this expo thing that happened over here in Illinois, and had some guys flying up from South Carolina, North Carolina to come see us. It was really cool, and got to meet the guys that I work with every Wednesday night over on iRacing. So yeah, that was an awesome weekend. I had a great time, and Labor Day was great. Got to kind of get grilled out and drank some whiskey all weekend and just had a blast. So feel refreshed, ready to talk about some baseball. We're coming down towards the playoff race. It's going to be fun. But Matt, how you doing? Because I know our teams are playing tonight.
I'm doing pretty good. I was doing a little bit better since Ozzy Albies decided to play. David and I have been joking before the show. Ozzy Albies is a notorious Cubs killer. He's hitting over 400 in like 41 career games against the Cubs. And he hit a home run in the first inning tonight, so that was fun. But yeah, everything's good. I went on a fun trip week before last and rolled over into Labor Day, so that was really cool. Went out to Utah, go to the mountains and stuff. So that was fun. And this past week has been the start of college football that weekend. David, we won't talk about that. Damien,
Win is win.
One of your teams is doing good. My team's doing good. David, we're not talking. I'm talking about week before.
True.
So yeah,
Damien's
teams are doing good. Yeah, Damien. Well, yeah. I mean, La Tech was a struggle, but Oregon looked really good. Football's been going. NFL started this week. That's cool. And baseball, we're getting close. Thank you so much to Damien for helping. Just end my misery in week one, and also to help progress the tank. Because the tank is on for my team, which is good. They've needed to do that for a while.
If you give up 30 points to Daniel Jones, you deserve to just tank. Because boy, oh boy, is that something.
Yeah. So it was the Dolphins are not good, kind of like my Braves. But so let's get back to baseball here. But playoff races are heating up. There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on this week. A little bit of drama here in the podcast group this weekend. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, everything's great. So Damien, how have you been?
I've been all right. We'll talk about the drama later with that. But like you mentioned, the college football is back. I think if we've learned at this point one thing, it should be don't ever give Dan Lanning more fuel on your team. Because he is just going to ignite you on fire, basically, with it. Mike Gundy found out this week talking about NIL and then losing by 66 points. But if you want to hear more about college football and stuff, we have another college football show, obviously, that has started up on the channel with Adam and Hank. I'm on there sometimes. Maybe these guys will be on some other times as well. But
man, y'all missed out on not having me on there last week to talk about Alabama. I mean, that would have, yeah.
Hey, let's bring it up with those two. They are the ones handling.
I'll bring it up. If Alabama loses again, if Alabama loses to Georgia and they're 2-2, then I'm gonna I'm coming on.
Yeah, bring it up with them. They're the ones handling all of that. But if you guys are enjoying the college football content, let us know. Obviously, it's something that we're all very passionate about. So we're branching out a little bit and trying to get you guys some other different content. So let us know with that out there. But yeah, I mean, as far as everything else has been going on, I wasn't a Daniel Jones fan. Then he gave scored 30, and I'm like, well, great. Now I'm stuck with him, and I'm gonna have to pay real money to watch him in a couple weeks when they're playing the Chargers.
How many times did Anthony Richardson score 30 in his 10 games of actually being healthy?
I'm not sure. That would be
Did he score 30?
Maybe once.
I think he had at least one.
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
one.
So
maybe. I don't know. But as far as baseball's concerned, boy oh boy has it been a roller coaster ride there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's start off with some contract news. It's very rare that we get contract news in September, extension wise or anything there, but we did get some, and that is Aroldis Chapman. Got a 1 year, $13.5 million extension. There's some sort of mutual vesting option for 2027. I wasn't able to actually figure out what the vesting option is. It seems like it might be innings pitched, but there's really conflicting stories out there. So we'll figure that out. But Aroldis Chapman is in a career renaissance year at the age of 37. He's dropped his walk rate to under 2.5 per nine this year. He's still striking people out at 13 Ks per nine. He has a 0.98 ERA this year with a 1.84 expected ERA, a 1.67 FIP, and a 2.30 xFIP. And he is currently on a streak right now of retiring 50 straight batters. Obviously, there's been a couple walks in there, but those don't count as official plate appearances. But he has not given up a hit in 50 straight batters, basically. Absolutely insane for this going on with Aroldis Chapman right now. But David, I don't even know what to say. Thoughts.
I mean, what a move, right, by the Red Sox.
Right.
I mean, the fact that they were able to unlock Aroldis Chapman's command.
It wasn't even unlock it. Did you hear what the big story was about it?
That they had him actually aiming his fastball, right, and throwing it to specific targets instead of just hucking it wherever. I physically cannot believe that it's taken a career of 15 seasons to go, hey, maybe we should throw this thing somewhere specific. But I got a couple more numbers, right? The walk rate is 7%. The strikeout rate is 40%, which is putting those, K per nine terms into that percentage hitters, right? So the batting average against is 112 against Aroldis Chapman this season. I mean, we talk about extensions in terms of value and stuff like that. I mean, the fact that Aroldis Chapman took himself off the market in the middle of this season is mind-boggling. Obviously he could have gotten more money. The way he's pitching, somebody would give him 3 years at this point, right? I don't know. Maybe he's comfortable, right? Maybe he likes pitching to the specific Red Sox players. That feels like kind of how it's going to be. He's going to get Cy Young votes. I don't think he has a case quite like Zach Britton had a few years ago where he was perfect in saves and stuff. I think it's more of he'll be down the ballot in the Cy Young votes, but he's going to have some Cy Young votes this year with this kind of season. So that's just wild. Nuts season. 112 batting average against is crazy. That's even his career best.
Yeah, it's remarkable the turnaround he's had this year with the walk rate. That's not something I thought we'd ever see. His career best walk rate was in 2016 when it was the year that he was with the Reds first half. He got traded he was with the Yankees first half, and then he got traded to the Cubs for Gleyber Torres, and he had a 279 walks per nine that year. That was his career best. He's down to a 229 this year. There's a lot of arguments that this could be his best career year. His lowest career FIP was in 2016 as well. He only threw 58 innings. He's at 55 now. He's got a slightly higher FIP, but his ERA is under 1 at the moment. So this could be the best year of his career, and he's 37 years old, coming off of multiple seasons in a row where he's still been a good reliever the last 5 years, but he hasn't been the same that he was in his prime, and he's back to being like he was in his prime right now. This is something else, and his velocity's back up and close to 99 here on his average fastball. I mean, it's something different that he's done this year, and it's really cool to see. It's remarkable. He's been amazing And really, the Red Sox have put themselves in position to be a playoff team because they've locked down the back of that bullpen after the first month or two of the season.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane what Aroldis Chapman's doing right now. And just by the thing of Connor Wong just being like, hey, can you throw your fastball inside? Like, what? He's like, yeah, just throw your fastball inside. Oh, okay. And then just like stops walking people while doing that. Like,
how? I don't know. Man.
I guess the Red Sox can get a little piece of semblance of saying thank you for the Mookie Betts trade a little bit because that's where Connor Wong came from. But like, it's just wild that like a guy like Aroldis Chapman has always just never been like, yeah, I'm just going to throw my fastball wherever it goes. And then now this year it's like, hey, like we know you're 37 and you're like 15 years in the league, but like let's try to throw your fastball inside more. All right. Like, and then he just does it and stops walking people. Like, it's absolutely crazy. You know, the Red Sox, like you mentioned, they have a really good bullpen now. They still haven't been able to figure out the starting rotation all the way behind Garrett Crochet. You know, Bayo's had a couple good months, but then you tried the Walker Buehler deal, that didn't work out. You tried getting Dustin May, that didn't work out. A couple of the other guys really haven't worked out behind them either. They've called up another guy, and Peyton Toyle now, who's looked pretty decent in his first couple games, but again, you're not for sure about that. And then obviously the injury to Roman Anthony, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well. But it's a team that's fighting for, you know, if they get into the playoffs with this back end of this bullpen, they can do some damage for sure. But let's talk about playoff races now. Let's stay in the AL East and talk about this playoff race. Obviously, with the Red Sox are involved in it, but right now you got the Toronto Blue Jays at 82 and 61. You got the Yankees 2.5 back, and then you have the Red Sox 3.5 back. I'm not sure what the head-to-head games remaining are. I don't know if any of you guys have that.
Yeah, I've got the strength of schedule remaining, but and the playoff odds, but I don't have the remaining schedules. It looks like the Blue Jays, or it looks like the Yankees have the easiest strength of schedule in this division remaining. The Blue Jays are second to them, and then the Red Sox are third there, but it's all pretty close. The current playoff odds on Fangraphs, or at least the division winning odds, all these teams are basically locks to be in the playoffs. The divisional odds here are the Blue Jays with a 66% chance to win the division, Yankees with a 29% chance, and then a 4% chance for the Red Sox. So that's kind of where we're looking at who could win this. It's going to come down to the wire here, I think. The Yankees have been playing better ball lately. The Blue Jays have kind of been really good all year, and the Yankees have been real hot and cold. So this last couple of weeks, it depends on whether you get the hot or cold Yankees here.
So I've looked it up. The Blue Jays have a 3-game set against Boston. They do not have any Yankees. They have, 7 games against the Rays, 3 games against Baltimore, then Kansas City and Boston is Toronto's schedule. Boston has 3 games with the Yankees, and then obviously that 3-game set with Toronto. They get the A's for 6, Tampa Bay for 3, Detroit for 3, obviously with the Yankees as well. So
yeah, we say that the A's for 6, and that's kind of different from what it's been the last few years. That was 6 automatic wins. That's definitely not the case now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Yankees, they have Detroit for 3, Boston for 3, then they have Minnesota, Baltimore, White Sox, Baltimore. So they have 7 games against Baltimore to end the year.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I mean, Baltimore is kind of similar to the A's right now, which is kind of crazy to say after the last couple of years. But
in fact, they have one game. The A's have one more loss. Than Baltimore. That's the only difference in the
record. It's real similar teams. Young offenses that are still really good. Pitching has been a bit of a mess, so it's definitely interesting. But
yeah. So who do we think comes out of the AL East?
The Blue Jays have felt like the team for a while, and let's not 82 wins right now is over 90 win pace. The fact that the Blue Jays have been ahead of the Yankees and been able to perform this well is a testament to the building work that they were able to do this offseason, re-signing Vlad and cobbling together a team, getting George Springer healthy and Dalton Varsho healthy has been really crucial for them. I don't think I can pick against the Blue Jays right now. But it come back to me next week, and it could
Yeah.
very well be a tied division race, right? Because this is still close. And I wouldn't really be surprised because I think the Yankees are probably the better team. And if Aaron Judge heats up at all here, which it
Yeah.
seems like he has of the last couple of weeks, like that's kind of drawn them close. I think the Yankees can hang in there. They really need that starting pitching to step up. The Blue Jays starting pitching's been pretty good all year. Kevin
Yeah.
Gossman's been solid. Bassett's striking out a lot of guys and going 5 innings. It is what it is. And Barrios has been better. Yeah, but better, but not amazing. He certainly had a couple of bad years in there, the last couple. So, give me the Blue Jays for now, but I think this one could really go any of these 3 directions. I think that 4% odds for the Red Sox is a low. I think it's more like it's more like 60, 30, 10.
Yeah, that's what
to my idea here.
Yeah, I was gonna say watch out for the Red Sox a little bit. I do trust the Yankees bats more than these other teams, just in general. Yankees have kind of their position player core has low key been pretty good this year, like in depth wise. Like it's not just 2 players this year. Last year it was just 2 players. This year, I mean, Aaron Judge has obviously been Aaron Judge, but then Cody Bellinger's had a good year. Jazz Chisholm's had a good year. Trent Grisham's had a good year. He's got a 131 WRC plus this year. Ben Rice has been a great bat. Giancarlo Stanton, ever since he came back from injury, has been incredible. 164 WRC plus for Giancarlo Stanton in 60 games. Goldschmidt's been not great, especially for a first baseman, but he's been a little bit better than what they had been running out there last year. So he's been an upgrade. He adds depth. He's an above average hitter. So this team's really got a lot of depth there, but I'm with you about the pitching. Their pitching's just gonna have to step up. I mean, they really only have 2 starters right now that are consistently getting it done, and then Will Warren is also in there, somebody who has some pretty good metrics to him, but he hadn't been like he's 4.30 ERA, upper 3s peripherals. Like he's been fine, he's been good, but he hadn't been like. If you're starting him as your number 3 in a playoff series, you probably don't feel fantastic about that. But, it's going to be interesting. I do think this one's like 50-50 as to who wins this, though. The Yankees, being fully healthy now, it's really helping them.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more of a fan of Warren than maybe you guys are. I think in the second half this year, he's had like a 3.50 ERA. He's been completely fine, I think. But I agree. I think it should be Toronto at this point. It's tough with who do I like more than the Yankees or Red Sox. I think there's both have glaring holes. Funny enough, they're probably around the same thing, which is starting pitching. But at this moment, I think I just trust Garrett Crochet a little bit more than Carlos Rodon or Max Fried at the moment. Like you have that ace level upside there with Crochet that can do a lot of things that you need him to do there. So maybe but also we're going to talk about they've lost a big piece in Roman Anthony for 4 to 6 weeks with a oblique strain. So he had been heating up recently as well. He had been really good, and then they lose him.
He had a 900 OPS for the Red Sox playing center field, or I guess he's right field, but
he's right field,
man,
you take a big bat out of that lineup. I mean, they're still good offensively, but that's just another guy that lengthens your lineup, That means more at-bats for a guy like Yoshida, who's not as productive as a guy like Roman Anthony is. So, so let's look at the American League West now, where we have the Houston Astros at 78-66. We have the Seattle Mariners 2.5 games back to that. The Texas Rangers only 3.5 back there as well. And that second spot there with the Seattle and Texas Rangers, that's also the wild card battle right now. With the Mariners holding that last spot by 1.5 games and really close behind. I mean, the Royals are only 2 games back and the Guardians are only 2.5 back as well. So some really close matches there with the American League West and then that American League wild card race.
It's scary for my AL MVP Cal Raleigh. I don't know if he's going to get to play any October baseball.
He's really struggled as of late. He's really struggled.
He turned it on against the Braves.
But I mean, if you look over his last thing, he's batting like barely above 100 over the last like month or so. It's not good.
I mean, he's he's still. I think he'll turn it back up. He's always been one of those players that with his strikeout rates, if it's just a little bit off and he's not hitting home runs, he can go through some cold spells. But I mean, I still think the Mariners end up getting it done in making the playoffs. The Astros, I think, are the team to beat here in the division. They have been for a long time. It's been close the last few years. Year before last, I think the Astros, did they win by a tiebreaker or did they win by one game in the division over the Mariners?
I think it was one game.
Yeah, I think
I
all
think it was
three
one
teams
game.
were within one game.
I think it was one game, and then I remember I think it was Toronto and Seattle tied in the tiebreaker, and I think Toronto got it, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Well, Seattle made the playoffs that year.
Just maybe Seattle got the tiebreaker then.
So Seattle, I think they both made the playoffs because I think that was also the year that Jordan hit the homer off of Robbie Ray. No, that was the Mariners. Robbie Ray. I think
that
so.
was what
yeah.
you're thinking of is when the Rangers and the Astros tied, and the Rangers went to the wild card round and
Yes.
then won the World Series.
Okay, that was the two teams that tied. The Mariners finished one game back that year in the division. So that's the year I was thinking of. But I mean, the Astros have a track record of pulling out this division whenever it's close like this. It's hard to bet against the Astros, honestly.
Right.
I think that those two teams will be in the playoffs. The Rangers are interesting, but as you mentioned, I don't know if we've mentioned it yet or not. They've got some injury issues that have really popped up again lately, and I mean they're only a game and a half out of the playoffs right now, but they've really got they've got a long way to go to people to get there with their injury issues.
And they do have a little bit of a tough schedule. The Rangers remaining have 3 in Milwaukee, 3 against the Mets, 3 at Houston. Then they have Miami and Minnesota for 3 each, and then they end the season at Cleveland for 3.
Yeah,
so that's a very tough stretch.
The thing is, and I guess we should preface this whole conversation with it, but when you start talking about these late season schedules, you also get the whole like we're getting the hangover game after clinching type thing. So Brewers, we play the Brewers. I guess they'll probably play the Brewers before they clinch.
Yeah, Brewers are they're up today, tomorrow, and Wednesday.
Yeah, so but you, either way, like you kind of get to the point to where sometimes you kind of get some games where the team might clinch, and then the next day they play their hangover lineup, or they might be resting starters in the last week of the season to keep their pitching rotation healthy for the postseason to get them lined up right. You get some of those types of things that happen with these late season schedules too. So sometimes strength of schedule is not the perfect thing, but definitely in this case, I mean, I trust the Astros here.
Yeah, what I will say, looking at this division, all of their tough games for every team, it's coming early.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the Rangers, that's their next 9 games are Milwaukee, Mets, Houston, and then they get Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, right? Then you look at the Astros, it's Toronto, then the Braves, and then the Texas, and then Seattle, and then they end the season with the A's and then the Angels. Then looking at the Mariners, it's St. Louis, Angels, Kansas City, Houston, Colorado, and then the Dodgers to end the year. So, which we're going to talk about the NL West here as well, being a dogfight at this moment. So I doubt that last game of the series, or that last 3-game series of the season, that the Dodgers are probably going to be resting people either,
right?
Because with as close as that one is, so it's going to be tough for any of these. But I think I said it preseason as well. Like, you have to prove to me that the Astros aren't the people, aren't the team, and right now no one has. The Astros have gigantic question marks.
Yeah.
But yet they just got back Jordan, and they did it while not having him for most of the season, while still leading the division. They haven't had pitching outside of Framber and Hunter Brown.
Yeah.
And there's friction with Framber and that whole thing, which we're not even going to talk about really, but like maybe intentionally crossing up his own catcher.
Yeah.
Like that's caused friction in that locker room as well. But still, you're going to have to prove to me that you can beat them.
And I mean, this lineup is also without Paredes. Remainder of the season, he's been one of their best hitters, and then it's been without Jeremy Pena for quite a while here. And those two have been their best players all season. It's like they're piecing this together, and they're still winning this division. That's wild. I mean, if I had to pick them, Seattle's my favorite team of this group in terms of like how well they're put together, especially after those trade deadline acquisitions of Naylor and Suarez. But like, Houston just finds a way, man. I don't know. It's wild.
let's mention it while we're here because we are talking about why this race is so close and why we're maybe discounting the Rangers a little bit. I think it makes a little bit of sense here.
Yeah.
Nathan Eovaldi has a rotator cuff injury. He is out for the year. We were just talking on our last show how good Nathan Eovaldi has been this year. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
Then their other superstar, Corey Seager, had an appendectomy. He is out for at least the regular season, most likely.
Yeah,
Those are two really tough people to lose at this stretch in time. I think the Rangers might be getting Molly back soon, if I remember correctly. I think he's already throwing some sim games and stuff. I will double check that, but losing Eovaldi and Seager in this stretch right here, when you're needing to make up a game and a half over teams in your division, that's tough.
Yeah.
Let me get an update on Molly real quick.
Yeah, I want to mention one thing here. We were talking about the Mariners and the trade deadline acquisitions. Neither one of them have been particularly good for the Mariners. Josh Naylor has been fine, but
Suarez has a 160 WRC plus since August 13th.
Yes, but it just has a whole.
He spent the first week striking out 50% of the time.
Yeah,
but that feels like adjusting to Seattle thing. He's back to his normal self right now.
Yeah, I mean, he might be. I'm just saying, like, those acquisitions haven't been. I mean, they have a combined 285, 290.
He hit 2 home runs against the Braves yesterday. He's all right.
Well, I mean, he hit 4 home runs against the Braves when he was a Diamondback. So
that's a lot of homers against.
He's hit half as many home runs with the Mariners as he did with the Diamondbacks.
That's Ozzie Albies against the Cubs numbers right there.
Yeah.
Regarding Molly, he's supposed to be back within the week or so. So maybe this weekend against Colorado or early next week against the Mets is what it sounds like. And obviously, this is a guy who had like a 2.34 ERA so far on the year through 14 starts. So
I'll tell you what, playoff fans, like, we talked about the AL East, those teams that don't win that division and get maybe the bye. I think that'll be the bye with the Tigers. If you don't win that division and get the bye, you might have to face Jacob deGrom in the playoffs. And I think a motivated Jacob deGrom off of an actual healthy season, looking to go in and actually pitch in the playoffs, that might be an auto loss for whoever's in there. And you're going to have to win. You're going to have to win game 2 and 3 in that wild card series. And that's going to make things difficult. The Rangers are a dangerous team if they can make it there. I just don't know if they can make it there. There's so many injuries, ineffectiveness. I mean, Wyatt Langford's been pretty good, but
he's been good lately.
I messed up on the schedule. I had the wrong schedule up. They play the Mets this weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So he'll either be back for that or be back for that Houston series. Okay. So right around there.
All right.
So let's go talk about the National League West now.
Let's.
Where the Dodgers are 79-64, the Padres are 1 game back, and then don't look now, but the Giants and the Diamondbacks have done some good work lately. They both have games against the Dodgers have 7 games against the Giants remaining. I think they have a 3-game set against Arizona. Both of those teams are within 4.5 of the wild card as well. The Reds are 4 back, Giants are 4 back, Diamondbacks are 4.5 back. So the NL West it was a division we thought was going to be a dogfight. Then early in the season, it didn't look like it. And then now, as we're into September, it looks like it's going to come back to being at least a 2-horse race. And those other teams can sneak into the wild card for sure.
Yeah, I want to say one thing. The Padres have 4 games left against Colorado at home. And then they also have 3 games left against the White Sox.
Yeah.
Plus, that last week, we were talking a little bit earlier about the hangover games, teams resting there. They get the Brewers in the last week, and the Brewers are probably going to be clinched at that point, or at least they'll be close to clinched. So the Padres have what I would consider a pretty big advantage schedule-wise here over the Dodgers. But yeah, I mean, I guess we probably should talk about a little bit about what's happened over the last 2 weeks here. The Dodgers and Padres are both entirely collapsing right now. I mean, the Dodgers have lost 6 in a row.
Yeah,
and the Padres
5 in a row, and then they won on Sunday.
They won on Sunday, and the Padres have been blowing opportunities against bad teams like the Colorado Rockies. So they had lost 4 or 5 in a row at one point.
Say you were talking about them playing good against the Rockies, but I mean, they're having 4 games against them.
Yeah, I mean, now playing
in
at
Coors,
Coors is a little bit different just because it's so weird.
I'm sorry,
Coors is always weird.
When
But
Kyle
Freeland
gives you 8 shutouts with 10 Ks, I mean, I'm not sure there's much
Look,
that Coors is going to do there.
Look, I have to take some responsibility for the Kyle Freeland thing because Vince picked up Kyle Freeland to knock me out of the fantasy playoffs, and that's I also had Nathan Eovaldi, so I feel very responsible for all of these things that are going on here tonight because it's just all conspiring to knock me around. But also the Padres have had some injuries too. Xander Bogaerts and Jason Adam. Jason Adam tore his quad.
Yeah.
In the last, I think it was like a week ago. I think we would have covered it last Monday, but like
it was last Monday. It happened.
Man, that's a brutal injury.
Yeah, and then Xander Bogaerts, I mean, as well. He is a guy who had really turned it around this year. Had a really solid season, and he fractured his foot, and he's going to be out for probably the regular season, and the playoffs are a maybe. Like that's still a gigantic loss as well, you know. But like Matt mentioned, look at the schedules real quick. The Padres get 3 against the Reds, 4 against Colorado, 3 against the Mets, 3 the White Sox, 3 at the Brewers. But like you said, late September, they could be benching people. And then 3 against Arizona to end the year. The Dodgers, they have 3 against Colorado, 7 against the 7 against the Giants, 3 against the Phillies, 3 against the Diamondbacks, and then 3 against Seattle.
One last thing to kind of look at in this race too is that you've got we don't know that the winner of this division is going to get the bye. They probably won't. The Brewers are pretty certain to get a bye. I don't think they've clinched it yet, but like the Brewers are going to win 100 games or close to it. The Phillies have about a 4-game lead on the Dodgers. So
they do have that 3-game series head to head.
They do have a series head to head, but you know, it's the likelihood of the NL West team getting a bye is pretty low at this point. Right. So both of these teams could very well be playing in that wild card series against, the Dodgers could be rematching the Mets again, like last year, and that would be the division. And then Yu Darvish could be facing the Cubs. So sorry, David.
I wouldn't like that. I'd rather get the Mets or the Dodgers. I'm already fully prepared for Jonah Tong and Nolan McLean to shut the Cubs down at Wrigley Field. I'm like, I've already seen it. It's going to happen 100%. I'm just waiting for it to happen. And just 2 shutout games, doesn't matter what else happens, and that's it. Like,
well, I would say
I'm ready for it. I'm already braced.
David, I think he would absolutely want to play the Dodgers the way Pete Crow Armstrong and stuff have played against the Dodgers this year.
I would of the 3. I would rather have the Dodgers just because it's one of those where if you lose the Dodgers, you lose to the Dodgers, whatever. But if you lose to the Mets right now, you're literally losing to rookies. And Juan Soto. It's like that's it.
I will say the Mookie Betts turning into Andrelton Simmons' career arc is something interesting. So
and don't look now, he's actually turned it around at the plate.
Yeah, he's been better at the
plate. He had like a 900 OPS over the last month too. He's starting to turn that around. Now, same can't be said for that Dodgers bullpen, and we'll talk about it now.
We will.
We'll talk about it.
It's time.
If you haven't seen, I don't blame you because I don't want to see it either. Yoshinobu Yamamoto had 8 2/3 no-hit innings against the Baltimore Orioles on Saturday night. Had it in a 2-1 count, and Jackson Holliday hit a pitch to deep right field that probably could have been robbed for a homer to end the no-hitter, and Andy Paz just stood and looked at the ball like, what are we doing? Then the Dodgers proceeded to, with 1 out remaining in the game with a 3-0 lead, give up 4 runs and lose on a walk-off to Emmanuel Rivera. If you've been listening, you've known since early July, I've been trying to say this Dodgers team, I'm not going to say they're bad. Like, I've been very fortunate to have this team here. They have been playing like a not good team since early July. They have been playing close to 500 baseball. I have said before the trade deadline, this team had a bunch of holes they needed to fill. They went out and traded for an injured relief pitcher that didn't do anything, got immediately hurt. And then they traded for a 4th outfielder who Alex Call has been decent, but he's a 4th outfielder for a reason.
Yeah.
This team had clear injury concerns, especially with the back end of the bullpen. They didn't do anything to address that, and 2 of their guys got blown up in this game. Blake Trinan, who has not looked the same since coming off of the IL. He does not have location right now. He doesn't have any command. And Tanner Scott had looked pretty decent before his arm injury, and ever since his arm injury, he has not looked the same either.
Yep. Can we talk about Tyler Glass now too?
What?
He got getting scratched from his start the other day.
You mean pitching today, Tyler Glasnow?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, anytime you hear Tyler Glasnow was scratched from his start, you start to worry with his injury history.
He's pitching today, so I'm not worried about it.
It's just kind of like it doesn't make you feel good.
Right.
I'm not too worried about it. If it was a bigger thing than that, and we will say they've obviously dealt with a bunch of injuries, right? That's been a Dodgers thing for a while. They got Max Muncy back today. Tommy Edman will come back on Wednesday. Vesia, I mean, we didn't even get to talk about Alex Vesia. He had an oblique deal, but he's supposed to be back tomorrow. Regardless, this team has not been playing good. The Padres had a full opportunity to take advantage of this. They haven't yet. They've been playing just as bad baseball, also dealing with their own injury concerns. So I'm not trying to say anything there as the optimistic Dodger fan or anything. But this division, I mean, none of these teams want to take this division and win, apparently. So the Giants have tried, but
they're just, I think the Giants are too far back. That 7 games against the 7 games against the Dodgers is the only thing that keeps the Giants remotely in it for me. But
that or Rafael Devers turning into prime Barry Bonds all of a sudden.
Love that. Fantastic turn of events. But also I don't think unless the Giants go like 6-1 against the Dodgers, that's not an easy task. Even with the Dodgers playing bad, that's not an easy task. Unless barring that, I think this is a 2-horse race still. There's just not enough time for the Giants and the D-backs to claw back in. They're 500 right now. Like it's not like those teams have broken free. And they're dealing with their own injury concerns, right? The Diamondbacks lost Lourdes Gurriel with a torn ACL. He'll be out for a lot of next season, probably all of it at this point. And then Randy Rodriguez is getting Tommy John for the Giants.
And what I will say, preference to this, your point real quick. The Diamondbacks face the Giants for 6, Philadelphia for 3, the Dodgers for 3, and the Padres for 3.
Diamondbacks have no chance. I zero chance at all.
Yeah.
It's the Giants have the games against the right team, which is the Dodgers, to take advantage. They have to have those games, and I highly doubt they're going to be able to make it happen. It's such an uphill climb, but we've seen weirder things happen. I want to conclude this kind of talk about the playoffs by noting I don't think there's a favorite.
No,
the Brewers are maybe your favorite.
But
the Brewers have historically had very good regular season teams that faltered in the playoffs because you need that. You generally need star power in the playoffs, and you generally need that. You can't rely on those scrappy guys. I mean, maybe you can win a series behind the over performances and whatnot, but eventually it seems like things kind of come home to roost. Yeah. Every other team has flaws.
Yeah.
Every single other playoff team has a ton of flaws.
Yep.
Like maybe the most complete playoff team is maybe the Phillies.
But even the Phillies
and the Phillies lost Zach Wheeler.
I was going to say the Phillies are super flawed now. And another thing, I don't think we've mentioned it yet, but the Phillies just lost Trey Turner, and it sounds like he's going to be back for the playoffs. But he had the same injury last year, the hamstrings, and he missed like 6 weeks. And if I recall correctly, he was supposed to only miss a couple weeks, and then it lingered. So hopefully that's not the case this time. We want Trey Turner to be healthy in the playoffs. We would want everyone to have a full health. We want to see who the best team is. That's the whole point of it. But that is concerning for the Phillies. Like if he comes back that last week of the season, is he going to be fully healthy? Because I mean, a lot of Trey Turner's game is his athleticism too. Speed, is being able to play shortstop. I mean, obviously he's a great bat, but that's a big deal. I mean,
he's been on fire recently too.
Yeah,
he's been hitting over 380 with 1,000 OPS over the last month. Yeah,
and I'll tell you one other thing. I wouldn't be like the Mariners are, in my opinion, maybe the most complete team if they make the playoffs. If they get in,
they're not guaranteed. Yeah, they're not guaranteed to make it in.
That's the thing. If they get in, I think you look at their rotation that is now pretty healthy. Like Brian Wu, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Luis Castillo, and then their bullpen's solid, and their lineup's it's been a lot better this year. So, I mean,
but they haven't won the games.
They haven't won the games. They just,
Haven't
for
won the
whatever
game.
reason, now their pitching missed a lot of the first half of the season. They have had a lot of injuries. They've had, different guys in and out of the lineup on the offensive side. You had Julio Rodriguez being awful
Only
for
play
2 months and then being the best player in baseball for 2 months thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Mariners are.
I like them. I like them as a
if
favorite in this.
if they get in, that's a team to watch out for.
They've never won a World Series, for what it's
Nope.
worth. That would be a dream run. I would love to see it. But again, my whole point here is like the Brewers are the only team that have put together the big time win number in this regular season, and I don't think any of us trust the Brewers to march into the playoffs and go. What do you have to go now? It used to be 12-0. What is it now? Like
you got to win 12 games.
I think 12-0 if you get the bye. Like
yeah.
I don't think any of us.
No, it's 11 games. You don't have to go 11-0 though. I mean,
sure, but I don't think any of us believe the Brewers are infallible and without potential to get knocked out in the division series. Like it very easily could. So, this is a wide open playoff race. It's about as wide open as it's ever been, honestly, and it's good for baseball, man. But it's going to create somebody weird feels like they could be in store for winning it, which is another reason why the Rangers just need to get in. Like the Rangers are a team that's dangerous, man. An ace is so valuable in this, and then
remember
that's where I'm starting to look at who's got the aces.
2023, the Rangers were the team that with the last wild card spot they snuck in. The Diamondbacks too in 2023 snuck in, and they were able to fight their way to the World Series.
I'm looking at those. I'm looking at teams with like an ace. So you've got like the Tigers with Skubal, you've got the Red Sox with Crochet, and then Dodgers. Yamamoto's been incredible this year. Like he's a pretty solid option too. As but some of these teams struggle with that starting pitching group, and it feels like those aren't the teams to give. But then you've got the Rangers with DeGrom. Matt just mentioned that the Mariners have like 4 guys who can moonlight as aces, which is true. I'm there for it. Like if they get in, it feels like very, very dangerous for either of those AL West teams. And the Houston too. Houston's got some aces too. It's open, wide open.
It's very wide open. There's no, you can't say one team is a favorite at all this year, or even really pick one team as like, hey, this team, there's probably not the favorite, but like we expect this team to move on. It's like there's just none of that. Like any series this year can go any way. Like I don't feel confident in picking any team to win any series so far this year. Like even the Brewers, like you said, I don't feel confident in picking them no matter which team they end up facing, right? The Phillies either. One thing I will mention is because we were talking about the bye there. If the Phillies do get the bye, that's an extra little step to help Trea Turner.
Yeah.
Get
that's
a little
true.
bit healthier. So that's going to be a big thing for them to try to keep that bye there. Obviously they lost Alex Boehm as well. Alec Boehm sounds like it should be a minimum IL stay, but still that's another loss to that lineup at the moment. So let's get to talking about the other injuries real quick. Let's do the quick injury dump, kind of get through it all. I'll kind of go through as we do it. So we already talked Trea Turner, Alec Boehm. Sean Murphy tore his hip labrum, out for the season. Braves are already out of it anyways. Isn't really a big thing. I wonder if this does maybe affect his future in the offseason.
That's what I was going to point out with him, because I don't think the Braves are going to trade him, but any kind of questions about him, like this is going to add more questions to his value. I mean,
I think they very well could trade him, especially with the emergence of
and with Baldwin.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I will say about this too is this could help his value, because he has been really bad for the last like month and a half, 2 months. And apparently he's been playing through this for a long time, and it's just gotten worse. So that could kind of explain why he's just all of a sudden been bad for 2 months after being excellent the first couple of months of the season this year. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him.
Let's talk about some Cubs injuries real quick. Daniel Palencia, shoulder strain, at least a 15-day IL. That did not look good at all. Watching that game, that looked like a season-ending injury, if not all of next season as well. So it seems like they might have lucked out there, but still, those are something that can linger a little bit. And then also Kyle Tucker is dealing with the calf injury. He has missed 6 games in a row, as I am well aware on my fantasy team. Now that I am playing back this week off the bye, he's still not back.
Yep.
But again, I will never fault someone for sitting out with a calf injury because too often do those lead to Achilles injuries right now. So
my problem is not Kyle Tucker sitting. My problem is the Cubs' unwillingness to use the IL. Put the guy on the IL. Let him rest. Yeah. Your playoff spot is pretty solid. They have like a 90-some-odd% chance to get in. Well, let him rest.
Yeah, he's missed 6 games in a row. If you just IL him, he'd only be out 4 more games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's a minimum stay.
It's ridiculous.
I think if you retroactively put someone on the IL, you can do it for like 2 or 3 days or something retroactively.
It's 3 days.
So you would still,
it's 3 days. But what I'm saying
they
is
should have done it to start with. Yes,
agreed. Then he would only be missing 4 more games right now, anyways.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. And they already put Daniel Palencia on the IL. I would be shocked if we saw him again this season. Even in the playoffs, he's a young arm. He throws 102. Like, I really wouldn't want to mess with that. I'd really rather just have him next season and say, hey, it's Brad Keller, it's Andrew Kittredge in the back end, Caleb Thielbar, I guess. We'll just roll with the veteran guys.
Everyone else step up. Yeah.
Yeah. Just at that point, I had to eat some on Caleb Thielbar. He's been excellent. But yeah, I think Brad Keller is going to take over the save opportunities in Chicago. Which is wild to say, but he throws 99 now with an absolutely wipeout slider.
We talked about him a lot in spring training.
He's been so good all season long. He had a spell in the middle of the year where he was pretty bad, and I think the All-Star break got him right, and he's been great since. So he'll get the closing chances down the stretch here. Stinks because Palencia had gotten to the point of he had Gasolina as the entrance, the walkout entrance, and the closer music stuff. So I hope he gets better, and I wouldn't push him. I really wouldn't rush him back. It feels like something that could turn into a longer injury.
Very much so. We already talked to Roman Anthony, Corey Seager, Nathan Eovaldi. But the Brewers, we didn't really mention this as we were going through everything. Their closer, Trevor McGill, had a flexor strain. He's already throwing. Sounds like he'll be back within the next week or so. But again, those are an injury that can very easily turn into something else. I think it was also, funny enough, Shelby Miller, who is the guy they acquired at the deadline, the last second, had been dealing with, I think, a flexor strain injury with the Diamondbacks. He came back with the Brewers. He now has got an elbow sprain. His season's over. Could be Tommy John and linger, obviously, through all of next season. He said he felt a pop in his elbow. Shelby Miller's also, 34 right now at this point? So
it's hard to believe he's that young.
Yeah, I know. He's been
He's been around forever.
Traded. Dansby Swanson got traded for him.
Yes, that was a rookie, as a draft pick, basically.
Yep.
So, I'm not saying, but that very well could be potentially the end of Shelby Miller's career.
Man,
yeah,
it might be
that.
But McGill, I mean, that's the big one. He has been a lockdown closer this year.
The Brewers did it again.
Yeah. He's
the season. I remember we recorded the Brewers episode and we were like, one of these guys, and we just kind of named through the bullpen. It's going to be an elite closer. One of these guys is going to be an elite closer. Who is it going to be? Who knows? It was Trevor McGill. And if he's back in the playoffs, the Brewers are going to have that back into the bullpen locked down once again. But he needs to be healthy.
I think it is also worth mentioning too. Nick Mears is another guy who had been really good in the back end of the bullpen. He also has went out. I'm not sure if that's a long-term injury or not, but I know he also went out with some sort of an arm injury, I believe, as well. So that's something to watch. We talked to Xander Bogaerts, Jason Adam for the Padres. Obviously, 2 big losses there.
Back tightness was Nick Mears, by the way.
Okay.
So that not an arm injury, but it could still be a problem.
Yep, very well could be. Randy Rodriguez, we talked about him. Tommy John, that obviously really, really sucks, especially if through next season. Lourdes Gurriel with torn ACL, probably out for next season as well, at least a decent chunk of it. Edward Cabrera for the Marlins, obviously it's not something that's going to affect a race this year, but it is an elbow sprain. He is throwing, again, kind of wary of those at times. Yep. But Edward Cabrera had a really nice season. He had finally reached some of that prospect pedigree people thought of he was going to have. He'd kind of got things in line. I might just shut him down for the year.
Yeah.
You just got Yuri back. Let Edwards sit. Obviously, you got Sandy there, which probably gets traded at the end of next year, or at the end in the offseason, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, Edwards theoretically on the block as well this offseason.
Yeah, I'll say with
game at the deadline.
I'll say with Edward Cabrera too. If he if he's throwing still, I think that or throwing again, they're trying to bring him back. They must really not be worried about this injury because
Hopefully.
they probably would shut him down if they were worried about it. They've shut down guys. The Marlins have not been shy to shut down guys in the past.
I just think you probably should do it. I mean, you have nothing to gain at this point. You're 17 games back already there. Like, you have nothing to gain by him pitching another game this year. Just give him the offseason. I mean, the only reason I could see is them wanting to pitch him for a game or two to say to every other team, look, he's healthy.
Yeah. He's good.
Look,
he's good.
Healthy.
He's fine. Yeah, that's basically that's the message. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, we've had waivers, a bunch of waivers happen. Obviously, you had to be on a team before September 1st to be eligible for the playoff rosters. So we saw a bunch of people either waived or released. So we'll quick run through those real quick. Walker Buehler was released by the Red Sox, signed with the Phillies. Carlos Santana was waived by the Guardians. He ended up signing with the Cubs. Aaron Savali is also waived and signed with the Cubs.
He was White Sox.
Well, he was White Sox, yeah.
Right.
Ha-Seong Kim with the Rays, he got waived, and the Braves actually picked him up, and they plan on picking up his option for next year, which means they have their potential shortstop for at least next season. IKF returns to Toronto after being traded from Toronto to Pittsburgh last year. He gets back to Toronto. Andrew Heaney, Cy Heaney is back with the Dodgers. Let's go. Don't ever expect to actually see him, but he's there. And then a couple other call-ups we had as well. The Boston Red Sox called up Peyton Toyle. Like I mentioned earlier, a couple of solid games. And then the Mets called up Brandon Sproat and Jonah Tong. Sproat looked pretty good. I know he had 5 no-hit innings in his debut. Tong also had a good debut as well. He reminds me a lot of Tim Lincecum. And Jonah Tong looks a lot like a young Tim Lincecum.
And he also looks like he's about 12 years old.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, dude, it's gonna be Jonah Tong, Nolan McLean, and Brandon Sproat absolutely locking the Cubs down in Wrigley Field in the playoffs. Yeah. I'm fully prepared for it, and I am gonna be so mad because those guys are all really good.
They're good.
They're good, but they're rookies, like rookies in the playoffs. Come on.
Yeah. I want to point out on those waivers, Buehler to the Phillies is interesting with the Zach Wheeler, losing Zach Wheeler. Although I feel like Buehler's going to be kind of like Taijuan Walker at this point, where it's just like he's a 5-starter. He'll have a stretch in a season where he's good, but he also just isn't going to be a consistently like you probably don't want to pitch it in the playoffs.
Buehler. I mean, you
never know. I mean, he has had great games in the playoffs. He's been a playoff performer in the past, but it's just like I don't know if you still trust it.
And might be the only place you want to play him.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ha-Seong Kim to the Braves is really interesting too.
It is.
And just a note on him, he hit a home run last week against the Cubs to win the game. Sorry, David. But that was the first home run a Braves shortstop has hit this year. Nick Allen did not hit a home run, and Orlando Arcia probably didn't get a hit. So, first home run a Braves shortstop has hit all year.
Took the Cubs. Crazy. Obviously.
I do think that is really, really interesting though, because I think a lot of people going into the offseason probably had Bo Bichette tagged as like a Braves target all the way. And this potentially most likely takes that off the board.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Braves might target outfield and also relief pitching too.
Yeah. So that's why I think you could use a Sean Murphy trade in one of those.
Yeah, and I'll say Ha-Seong Kim, that is a player option for next year. So
I think it's a mutual. Actually,
it might be a mutual, but the Braves were going to pick it up.
Yeah.
And so the question now is Ha-Seong Kim going to opt in or opt out? Because he's one of those borderline ones.
I mean, what's the contract?
It's about, I think it's $14-15 million.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way he's getting $14 or $15 million on the open market.
Maybe right not, but he might get a multi-year deal on the open market for like 3 years, 10.
I mean,
I think you just
like the Braves wouldn't just give him a 3-year extension with 45% to Braves charities.
Yeah, I think
3 years, $3 million.
I think he definitely takes that option and just sits there and plays. It's a guaranteed starting spot, most likely.
This is the best spot for him. I think I think at least one of us, if not multiple of us, had him signed with the Braves last offseason, and it wound up being the Rays.
Let's look. I still have those.
While you do that, I will zip into player of the day. and get that started. We have 2 weeks to go.
I had him sign in with the Braves. Damian had him sign in with the Braves, by the way.
That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly. I felt that felt like something I remembered. Emmett Sheehan won Player of the Day for August 25th. Lucas Giolito, August 26th. Nolan McLean got August 27th. Kyle Schwarber's 4-home run performance, with the third 4-home run performance of the season.
If only there was
Eugenio Suarez and Nick Kurtz resulted in him getting Player of the Day. We hadn't even put up another vote on August 28th.
As a Braves fan, y'all welcome for all these 4-homer games. That was the second one to happen against the Braves this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dansby Swanson picked one up on August 29th. Juan Soto got August 30th. Jose Soriano got August 31st. Feels like last week's Player of the Week was just Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
At 4 homer games have won it, I think, each time.
It's clear.
when you do something like that, I mean, that's a good month for some guys. Yeah. Nick Kurtz won his on July 21st to 28th, and then Eugenio Suarez won it in April as well. So pretty easy to put Kyle Schwarber in for Player of the Week last week.
Yeah, and I'll say Kyle Schwarber got an at bat against a position player
and did not homer.
And did not homer. He had a pop up to left field. But we almost had a 5-homer game.
I think after the game, he said he shouldn't have been trying to homer. He was like, I felt that was the first bad all game I tried to homer.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well. And he's slumped since. He hasn't homered since, which is odd. But it also, I think, it's tough when you have a game that good. I think Kurtz also had about a week or so of struggles after his 4-home run game too. So player of this week, JJ Bleday won September 1st, Labor Day last week. Jazz Chisholm got September 2nd. Yandy Diaz, September 3rd. Paul Skeens, September 4th. Colson Montgomery, September 5th. Yamamoto got Saturday, September 6th. And then Shohei Ohtani picks up September 7th. I think it's got to be Yamamoto, right? Like the 8 2/3 no-hit innings, gives up the hit, and then the Dodgers go on to lose the game.
Listen,
it does feel like the lightest consolation prize we can provide.
Listen, if his team's not going to let him win something, I'm going to let him win something. Damn it! All right, it's going to be Player of the Day.
The storyline felt perfect. So
I could be on board with that. So
all right, now that gets Player of the Day, Player of the Week for about the first time all year just felt obvious. I had already written him in. Wanted to address the Kyle Schwarber 4-home run performance because we weren't going to get to talk about the Phillies. They're pretty in control of the division over there in the NL East. But yeah, so it'd be Kyle Schwarber, Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the last 2 Player of the Weeks. It'll be their first of the season for both.
Really? That's Yamamoto's first?
Yep. Wow. We never voted for him on any other one.
Oh, he won April 11th.
Did he?
Yep.
No, he's got 4 Player of the Day votes.
Oh, okay.
That's his first Player of the Week.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. I was misunderstanding there.
But he's one of the top Player of the Week getters, or Player of the Day getters.
I was gonna say, I thought he'd been that, but anyways. Well, that will wrap up this week's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know which team you're looking at here through the playoff races and who's your favorite right now, since we really can't pick out one. Who is your favorite going into the playoff stretch here? And then don't forget to go check out the college football show. Typically they're up on Thursdays. I think this week might be delayed until Friday, but Adam and Hank are doing some good work over there. So don't forget to go give those a shout right here on the YouTube channel. That's the only place to find it. If you're not a member of the YouTube channel, just go over there and subscribe. Help us out. We're trying to push for more subscribers over there. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys back next week.